Good morning, good morning, good morning. So first thing I want to say is yesterday I talked about food for less. I basically was saying I wanted to talk about like if you shop at Whole Foods, go into a Food for Less. If you shop at a Food for Less, shop at a Whole Foods. So basically you get the idea of just become more comfortable and don't be intimidated by different environments. It's going to help you a lot. It's Thursday, you guys, and it's been a month since I told you to skip cosmetology school. It's still wedding season. It's going to skip cosmetology school to work on a Saturday or to start promoting your services to local hotels. It's not just wedding season. I saw a report saying that business travel is back. So that means that opportunity to give people blow dries and style them. It's not just going to be for this summer season, this June season. It will continue to ramp up even in the January season after Christmas. So even though I was going to talk to you about color yesterday, and then I got into don't be intimidated, and then I was going to talk to you about color today, I want to talk to you about mindset of just chilling out and being pragmatic. So one concept I did not learn in cosmetology school, and I did not learn while being an assistant, and maybe this is because balayage is only popular now. I mean, 12 years ago, the ombre was still overplayed. So I don't know why this wasn't taught. But when somebody wants a look, a color, and a cut, it's usually our industry we teach just to cut them first or cut them after we've colored their hair, right? After we've shampooed them. There's nothing more valuable in my time and in my business model with the fact that I have learned how to cut dry. I can go back and do a much more precise haircut after I've rinsed the color or after I've done the dry cutting. But the reality is that I am quicker now at cutting hair, blow drying hair, and coloring hair than when I first started. And it's going to be a little bit of a grind when you're first getting the mechanics down of holding a foil and then making sure it's holding steady and then applying bleach evenly. It's going to be a while before you understand that your comb, you're not holding straight. It's going to be a while until you realize your elbow is actually directing your hand down because your body positioning and you're not cutting a straight line. Those are all things that take time. So when you're first, and there's so many amazing videos on Instagram that talk about how to section hair, that talk about how to cut hair, that talk about how to blow dry hair, that talk about how to formulate hair color, but you're just starting. So relax and be pragmatic. If somebody wants to, so this is my introduction to hair color. If somebody comes into your cosmetology school salon and they want a certain look, right? You first have to ask yourself, am I going to be putting hair color on this look and then have to cut it all off? So the first thing I ask someone, especially if they're looking for it, these aren't just new clients that I ask them. I say, what are we doing with your hair today? And they always mention their color because I, for the most part, am known for my color as a stylist with pretty much like long-haired clients, right? And I'll say, how much are we cutting today? And they usually look at me horrified and say, well, I don't know. Or they'll say, well, about a couple of inches. And people with really long hair will give me their measurement of a couple of inches, and it's about 4 inches. So the reason why it's imperative to ask them, how much are we cutting off? Because the longer the hair is, the more time it takes, the more product it takes to make that hair darker or to make that hair lighter. And you're using more foils, right? When you learn how to cut hair first, even though it may not be perfect, you're saving yourself a lot of time and a lot of money by getting that out of the way. That pretty much is all I wanted. No. Another thing I wanted to address. When you're following up with these hotels and wedding planners and event planners, one of my clients yesterday, she came in to get her roots done because it is still graduation season. She went to a 5th grade promotion for one of her sons. She went to an 8th grade promotion for another one of her sons. And today she's going to her high school graduation for another one of her sons. So yes, she came in to get her hair color done. And yes, I styled her hair so it would last a couple of days. But it is stinking hot out there right now, you guys, in Southern California. And if you're in any kind of graduation or event promotion and you've recently got your hair done, you're going to need to touch it up, right? So this goes for weddings. Because I talked to you about in the previous podcast. If you didn't listen to that podcast, I believe it's called Make Money While You're in School. And you might be saying, Emily, I'm already behind on my hours. I'm a month in. I'm already behind on my procedures. I can't skip cosmetology school. And I'm telling you right now, it is just as important to start building your business in cosmetology school, not because you're going to have these clients forever, but to prove to yourself, to show yourself it's not that hard. People are receptive. The economy is changing, right? Inflation is happening. That I still believe people are good. If you put the word out there that you're in cosmetology school and somebody's already gotten their hair blow dried and they say to you, oh, how about next time? And you say to them, okay, great. How about tomorrow? Since I know you're going to need a quick touch up. Even if all you do is charge them $5 or $10, even if all you do is just be there for them, that is part of clienteling. That is part of building a business model. And you're breaking your ego down by realizing this stuff really isn't that difficult. So I know there's a few different subjects that I talked about today, but I'm starting to come together to get into my groove about how this industry, when you're building your foundation as a hairstylist, you're doing these building blocks, it all starts to connect. Because I promise you, the more you just style hair now, again, you do not need a cosmetology license to go out and braid hair, to curl hair, to style hair, to put hair in a bun. There's so many videos online about how to do these amazing, simple updos. The more comfortable you are with, they say in the industry, your hands in hair, you won't stress out about that part when you begin to cut hair, when you begin to color hair, right? So again, if you're going to color hair, ask about how much you're cutting off today, especially if the hair is long, right? Oh my gosh. Always ask if they're looking to have bangs. Always ask if they're looking for face framing layers. I tell people all the time, we need to discuss how much we want to take off around your face. And then I say, how short is too short? Nobody, a long-haired girl, especially if it's a new client, they're afraid that you're just going to cut too much. They're afraid you're going to cut it wrong. So just go through it with them anatomically. Is this too much? And point to their nose. Is this too much? Point to their chin. Is this too much? Point to their clavicle. How about this? And point to their shoulders. You start slow and then you begin to gain that trust. And it's going to make the biggest difference. And it makes the biggest difference, and you'll notice it when you begin styling hair. Because if you have really thick, long hair and you curled it properly and you've watched all these videos and you're realizing it's not really curling the way it said it was going to. there's a few things happening. One of them most likely is that the hair hasn't been prepped properly. So